thought it was a great start to the season. Came out of the gate early. We'd had issue in one of our scrimmages with how we started the game. Didn't think we started great against TCU. We started well tonight. Really jumped on them out of the gate. Was pleased with where our heads were at to start the game. Did think we had a little bit of a letdown, some various points, but we were able to turn it back up. So there's plenty of stuff we need to work on, particularly on the defensive end. But thought we got the ball moving. We had 16 assists tonight, a few too many turnovers, but we were able to turn them over a little bit. And that's a good team. I mean, they picked to win the Ohio Valley. They'll be right in the mix for the Ohio Valley Championship. They won it last year, so it's a good team with good players, and I thought our guys played well. I think, we were able to play basically all 11 healthy scholarship guys, double-digit minutes, which was nice in the first game. Some guys probably didn't play quite as well as they'd like, but that's how it's going to go. So I thought a couple, a few new guys. Obviously, Grant played well. It's our leading scorer and rebounder, won the hard hat for the blue collar. I thought he was great, particularly in the second half. He didn't have a rebound in the first half, ended up with 7 in the second half. So we kind of challenged our guys. We were down 4 on the glass at halftime, ended up out-rebounding them by 15 in the second half. So it was one area we really stressed at halftime. I thought Grant and Pringle did a pretty good job themselves coming out in the second half, rebounding the ball well. Thought Aaron and Mark kind of got us going early, which is huge. I think Aaron, our backcourt's going to definitely be a strong suit of ours this year with those two. I thought Reitzel played hard. And so some guys, I thought Jaron Stevenson played really well there for a stretch in the second half. He showed everything he's capable of in about a 4-minute stretch with tough finish at the rim, couple threes he hit. So I think he's going to be huge for us this year. But I think you saw enough of the pieces we have. Sam didn't make a 3. He only got 1. We got to do a better job finding him because he shoots it really well. But, we're working, getting him a little better defensively. But, he may come out and hit 10 threes in a game. He can shoot it that well. So I think we got different pieces. You were able to see some of them tonight play well. As a collective whole, I was really happy with our effort, though.
Yeah, hey, Coach. When you brought Grant in this summer, was this kind of the role in production you envisioned they could have?
I mean, I knew he's super skilled. 24 and 7 is pretty good. I think some games he may have a few more assists and get the ball moving, depending on how teams guard him. We were able to get him downhill. He finished at the rim pretty strong. He went 2 of 4 from 3. I mean, that was a big question mark with him. Could he shoot? He's been in the gym a ton, working with Coach Pannone on his shooting. I think he's shooting it really well. He's shooting about 40% in all our live action since he showed up this summer. So for him to go 2 of 4 was big, just kind of get his confidence up. If he can keep shooting it like that, and teams are going to have to guard him, he can get the ball downhill and finish at the rim like he did. So, I envision him playing similar to what he played tonight. Whether he gets 24 points every night or not, the teams are going to guard him differently. He may end up with, more like 12 or 15, but end up with 6 or 7 assists because I do think he can really pass the ball too.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned Jaron and Sam. Davin Cosby got to play a good amount as well. Just what's your impression of this entire freshman class, how they've assimilated, and kind of how it played out on the court tonight?
Yeah, I think, we've got 5 freshmen that all have a chance to be really good. Sam played great against TCU in our scrimmage. Davin just finally got healthy, so for him to get almost 15 minutes, he'd only been practicing about a week, was happy the 3 he hit. He can really shoot it too, and he's playing hard on defense and gave us some good minutes. And Diabate, physical, tough driver, makes tough plays. I thought, in his minutes, he got about 10 minutes to score 5, and with two rebounds, he's go 5 free throws. He really could have, if he'd have made his free throws, should have had 8 points. So for his production, the amount of minutes he had was great. So, and Chris Parker's long athletic can be trying to sell him on being a little like Herb Jones, once we get him. But, and Jaron obviously played really well. I mean, Jaron's got huge upside. I think you can all see he's got a lot of Noah Clowney in him. Knock down threes, put the ball on the floor, play on the perimeter at 6'10", finish tough at the rim. Got to get him to little bit better on defense, go block some shots, be a little more of a rim protector for us, especially on the help side. But he's coming. For a kid that's supposed to be a senior in high school, he was pretty good tonight in his first college game.
What did you see from Mark, and how important is it to have somebody like him to kind of show everybody the ropes with so many newcomers on the team?
Yeah, I mean, it's really important, and they started to make a run, make a comeback. We got him right back in the game, kind of steady the ship. And his first game kind of being the primary point guard since he's been here. I think him and Aaron can split those duties a lot, and Wrights will do it as well. And you saw we can have Grant bring the ball up the floor a lot, like we said. But having a guy that's been in the system, knows how to play, knows how hard you have to play at this level, I think it's huge. And he's been a lot more vocal lately, which is what we've been asking him to do.
Coach, when you came here, Herb was the big name, and then Brandon Miller, he was in the building tonight, and now it looks like Grant, SEC fans are starting to see who Grant really is. Is this the guy that you wanted on this team, and what can they expect in the future of him?
Yeah, I mean, it was great to have Brandon in. He played last night in Dallas, and they play on Wednesday next time. So for him to get an off day and decide to come from Charlotte to Tuscaloosa shows how much he loves this program, how invested he is in our program, and it was great having him in there. So he was in the locker room after the game. So, but yeah, I mean, Herb's great in the NBA right now. Brandon's leading all rookies in scoring right now in the NBA, and I think Grant will be in the NBA next year. I think he's showing a skill set that the NBA wants at his size, and I think he, going to definitely be one of the best players in the SEC. And it's great that we've got him, and he's so versatile. Pair him together with the backcourt with Sears, Estrada. We've got some other guys, some shooters that we can put around him too to really help. But he's kind of that versatile piece like we did have with Herb and Brandon.
Yeah, first game for you with the entirely new coaching staff. Obviously, the scrimmages, but first game at Coleman. What was it like with that new group?
It was good. I mean, Coach Panone's running the defense. He's an incredible coach. I've got Coach Claunch, helping me, and Coach Bowman on the offense. Preston's in charge of personnel, matchups. He brings a ton of energy and suggestions on both sides of the ball, substitutions, that stuff. So we're still finding our niche together, but I think all three of them are all about Alabama basketball, the team, getting our players better. I think the guys know that. They're, when the assistants are that invested in your player development, I think guys want to play a little harder for the staff. So, we'll figure some more things out as we go through it, but it's kind of learning each other. But it's a good first game together. I think it's the first time Alabama scored 100-plus in their openers since 2001 against Mississippi Valley State. I'm guessing Morehead State is a lot better than Mississippi Valley State in 2001. I don't know, but you guys can do that research. So I thought it was a pretty good first game for us.
Coach, a lot of the focus is going to be on that 105 points, but on the defensive end of the floor, you ended up forcing 13 steals and ended up with 23 fast break points. Just talk about the ability to get into transition and how important that's going to be for this year's team.
Yeah, I mean, we need to get in transition more than we even did tonight. I think we did a good job. If we didn't have the steals, we wouldn't have been nearly as good as we needed to be in transition. So a point of emphasis we've been making is trying to force more steals. You saw us up a little bit more, putting a little more pressure on. So I think our pace, hopefully our defense can push the pace a little bit more even for us. But, we got to get a lot better on defense. I'm just going to be honest with you. We weren't where we need to be. When we were third in the country 2 out of the last 3 years, I'm looking at our defensive deal now. We gave up a 1.01. In conference play, we were low 0.9 on points per possession. Those years we were top 3 in the country in defense. So for a team, and more don't want to be disrespectful at all. Morehead's a very good mid-major team. I coached at Buffalo for 4 years. This is a team that you have to respect. They're going to win a lot of games. But if we're going to try to be 0.92, 0.93 in SEC play, you can't be giving up a 1.01 to Morehead State. So got a lot. Now we played a deep rotation. I gave everybody a chance some of these guys, if they don't figure out a guard, they're not going to be playing when we play some high major teams. So rotation will get shrunk up as we move along, but our defense has to get much, much better.
Yeah, you actually just kind of touched on what I was going to ask, just about the rotation. Last year's team really deep. Looks like you got another one of those this year without Parker even playing. What's the rotation going to look like? Obviously, you said defense is going to be a big key, but how good of a problem is it to have so many guys that can play like that?
No, it's great. I mean, you look at some of the guys that played lower minutes, Mo and Mo. I mean, they're both coming off surgeries, and so they haven't had as much time to acclimate themselves to our system. But those two guys are going to help us. I mean, and they were the two lowest out of the 11 scholarship guys in minutes. So kind of when you look at that, I mean, next two lowest guys were Davin and Sam, and those two guys could both go for 20 or 30 in a game because they can shoot it so well. So you look at your four lowest guys. I don't know how it's going to get shrunk. I'll tell you how it's going to get shrunk. Whoever wants to guard better is going to play more. So that's how it's going to get shrunk. But, the guys that end up playing fewer minutes moving forward are going to be really good players that just didn't figure the defense out as much as they need to. But if we have an injury, I think we'll be able to withstand some injuries better. 2 years ago, we weren't nearly this deep, and we couldn't hold guys accountable on the defensive end because we weren't as deep, and an injury, hurts you a lot more. So this year, we've got an unbelievable trainer in Clark, but, injuries are part of the game, and if we have one, I think some guys will be able to step up, and we're going to be able to hold people more accountable to playing hard on the defensive end. Thanks, Ben. All right, appreciate you guys. Good seeing you again, Roll Tide.